say like, and then like punch again.
So you layer that over it?
Take it.
So I met Jim in a Drawing 100 class at the University of Victoria. And it was actually the first day of the class that we met. I remember Jim was drawing really loudly and kind of making sound effects as he went. And I remember being kind of annoyed by him. I thought he was kind of a show-off. But then the teacher went around to look at all the different drawings. And he saw Jim's drawing and he held it up in front of the class. And he was like, this is an example of what I'm talking about. This is good drawing. And I was kind of jealous. But then after the class, I saw that he had this McVegan patch on his backpack. And I was kind of like, yeah, this guy's a vegan. I'm a vegan too. So we started talking.
Yeah, Matt invited me to go see a punk concert with him that weekend. And little did we know, that was the dawn of a 20-year so far friendship.
One of the key interests that brought us together was travel. I think both of us kind of dreamed of being able to travel and to make art and to make a life through those two things. And so we've both been really privileged to be able to do a lot of both of those things. And we did spend a lot of time separately. We would kind of break off from each other and go our separate ways for a little while, and then we would reconnect.
So when we're not living in the same place, we are still trading ideas and working at a distance. But I think that something that's been kind of nurturing for our collaborative process is that we each have a healthy solo practice too. We don't need to do everything together all the time. Matt often draws the more architectural kind of things. I've never been that inclined to draw buildings. I've always wanted to draw animals and monsters. An earlier project that was quite important for Matt and I, we were invited to be in the Quebec Biennial in 2011. So we spent 4 months working night shifts inside the museum here in Montreal, drawing on the walls, and no one else was around but the security guards. So we were like the elves that come out at night when no one else is there. Later in life, I became really interested in Norway because I grew up in coastal BC. This was another corner of the world where I pictured it being kind of the same, but then super far away. And in 2012, after I finished my MFA here at Concordia University in Montreal, I managed to get into several artist residencies in a row in Norway. I spent 2 months at the Nordic Artists Center Dala on the west coast of Norway. And a year later, Matt went there also. And then just a couple of months ago, this winter in 2017, we both went there together and began these drawings you see here. So after 5 weeks in residence in Norway, we had these drawings mailed back here to Quebec, where we're finishing them for the Manif da Neuf, which is also known as the Quebec City Biennial, where it will be unveiled in February for the vernissage of the exhibition. So there we'll have enough space and enough light that you can actually see them well, and they'll be installed on 2 opposing walls facing one another. So as you walk between the 2 houses with missing walls, you can hopefully situate yourself within them. By creating tables and chairs that are basically to scale, the hope we have is that you'll relate to them physically, that you could imagine pulling out that chair and sitting down at that table and put yourself into the position of the missing inhabitant, kind of bachelor hermit, or maybe some kind of witch-like character who might live there.